There are two ways how you can empower men. Number one, by listening, and number two, by acknowledging them. So I'm going to be looking up there because I'm channeling this information, which means I'm bringing this information through my heart, a way of connecting with my ancestors or my teachers who have the wisdom in another reality. All right, so when you listen to the men that you're talking to, the benefits of that is that you're going to learn about them. And the more you learn about them, the more you can relate to them and understand that you're co-creating together, right? When you acknowledge a man, business-wise, your son, your husband, or somebody that you found on the street while you were walking, and you acknowledge them, you are making obvious that you're seeing something positive about them. For instance, today, my son took me to a basketball game. And my way of acknowledging him was after I came back home and he went to his place, I sent him a text and say, thank you so much for taking me to the game. I had a great time, right? It was the acknowledging him for taking the action of inviting me, and in this situation, organizing everything for this to happen. And then my ex-husband came to the game with us, and I understand now it doesn't matter what happened in the past. If I'm in the space of acknowledging him and saying thank you what he has done, I am listening him for the man who has become in this moment. I am acknowledging who he is in the present, and we can communicate and understanding and respect. Okay, can you see how powerful this is it when you are acknowledging the male energy? So now, step number two. Oh, the light being wants me to give you another example. If I were be doing business and with a man and I'm negotiating for a contract or for a situation, I'm going to give you two examples. Number one, if it's my client is coming for the first time to work with me, I will acknowledge him for taking the time from his schedule to be able to work with me and learn more about himself. So I make it about him and his personal development. It's never about me when it comes to a client. But I understand that connection that I'm creating with him by honoring him and getting to know him and listen to him, it'll be a benefit for me to be able to support him in his development. If I'm going to do business with somebody and it's a man, I will negotiate in the way that I'm respecting, understanding his perspective of what he wants to create. And if it works for me, great. And if it doesn't work for me, that's okay too. But at least I'm honoring him for his own creation. I think you understand this clearly now. But for instance, I want you to accept this. And if this is no for you, you can let it go. But we are made of female and male energy. I'm not saying in men, because men has carry a lot of male energy, but we have inside of ourselves the female and the male energy, all the protons and neutrons inside of the nucleus of the atom. Okay, we have the female and male energy. Everything that's created in the universe requires from the female and male energy. So the female energy in the molecular behavior is called the creative energy, our energy of creating things. And as a creator, when I'm honoring my male inside of me, which is the direction of making things happen, therefore, I can move forward and co-create and manifest what I want. So if you have male and female, the male energy, again, is the energy of direction, is the desire of you to make things happen. That's a male energy, the driving force that makes things happen. That's your male energy. The dreamer of you, that's your female energy. Well, the best way to empower your energy is by acknowledging the male energy part of you. So let me ask you some questions. How many times have you acknowledged yourself for the person who you are? How many times have you had gratitude for who you are? How many times have you really listened to the things that you want? How many times have you told yourself that it's an honor and a pleasure to be working with the frequency that you have inside of you? Well, if that's not happening, then you're not going to manifest your full potential because you're not honoring that part of you that's going to make things happen. So as important it is the relationship that we have outside in the world of our body to empower men or in to empower others, you have to remember that it has to come from you, honoring and valuing yourself and making the balance where you empower your male energy so the male energy can go into driving forces to help you to make things happen. So my father was alcoholic and my mom was very strong, very dominant in her personality because both of them were surviving something, right? One of them was my father was very submissive. That was his survival form in life. My mother was very dominant because she needed to survive her background in her childhood. By my mother, I still remember as much as she loved all of us and wanted the best for my father, she was always criticizing him. So because she was doing that to herself, she was criticizing her male energy, her direction energy. So did things work out with my father? Of course they didn't, because if she had known how to respect and listen and acknowledge her male energy, then I'm sure she will have the energy to be able to understand my father and be able to help him. Is that my mother's fault? Is that my father's fault? No. It's the type of society we have been born. So let's don't use that as excuse. My mother wasn't that way, or my father wasn't that way, and therefore I'm stuck with this. No, that's not empowering your male energy. Your male energy wants you to believe that you can make things happen. So I hope this helps you in understanding, but that how powerful is to honor your male energy inside of yourself, to empower yourself. And you have a wonderful, wonderful week.